up, everyone? How's it going? Just a second to get organized here. We're on all of the platforms once again, and I think we're getting it here this time, though. Okay, I see we're live on Instagram. I'm going to join there. How do I do this again? Request to join. Okay.
Now we're good.
All right. And I think we've got people on as well. Where's everyone joining from? Let us know in the comments. Let's make sure the comments are working. Oh, damn it. I'm echoing.
Oh, you're good now. Try that.
I can hear you in my phone. Hang on. I think that's better. Except that, Andrew, I can still hear myself, I think, in yours. So you got to make sure your sound's through your headphones. Yeah, sorry, guys. We'll figure this out one of these days. Okay, we've got Earl, one of our favorites. What's up, Earl? Who else we got here? I see some names from our Facebook group. Hey, Dave. Arizona, California, Wisconsin. Awesome. Okay. Well, I know this was a bit last minute. So we're stoked you guys are here to join us for this announcement. We're excited. So I think we can kick it off. Basically what we're going to be doing today is sharing our announcement and kind of giving you guys an overview of what's to come. We're going to stick to 30 minutes for this, so we will be covering some of the questions that we anticipate will be frequently asked. And then if we do have a little bit of time, we will throw it to you guys. And but we'll keep it to 30 minutes. So let's jump in. First things first, the graffiti is officially sold out. So for the lucky ones who were able to secure that, well done. And we hope you're enjoying riding it. But with that, one of the biggest pieces of feedback we got with the graffiti was one of the biggest questions, and I'm sure you guys could probably guess and throw it in the chat, but was where's the rear suspension? And so we answered that question over and over again. And Andrew, maybe you can shine some light on why we didn't include a rear suspension on the graffiti.
Yeah, so I mean, one of the biggest features of the graffiti is the rear rack and the carrying capacity of the rear rack. And when you try to design around that kind of carrying capacity, because a lot of people want to accessorize their bike, have the ability to make it fit into their lifestyle, and we really want people to be able to ride the bike and to utilize that capacity for as much as they want. And so it's got a pretty big carrying capacity as it is. That's a lot more challenging with a rear suspension model, because in order to get suspension dynamics right with a rack, you either have to just limit the amount that the rack holds to, say, maximum of 40 pounds, which is tough for a lot of things that you're trying to use a bike for. Or you have to kind of limit the size or length of it, either that or you don't include it at all in a full suspension model. And so we really wanted to kind of maximize those features. That being said, there was always an intention in the graffiti models to basically have two models. And we started off when we started off the company, we launched the first model, which was the graffiti, which was always the first design that was in the tank, and it just sort of was that way. And still the graffiti as it is, that racking system, and there's going to be more and more accessories that come out for it. is a really big and important piece of that bike.
Okay. So thank you for that background there. And so with that, because the piece of feedback we got so often was, hey, you guys missed the rear suspension. So we took that to heart and we got to work. And we are super excited today to announce that we now have split the Graffiti into 2 different models. We are going to have the Graffiti and then the Graffiti on steroids, which is going to be the Graffiti X. So let me just share my screen here. I want to show you guys some pictures. Give me 1 second.
We had a very small sneak peek yesterday for a few select customers that were watching carefully one of the pages where a couple of these models showed up yesterday.
Okay, so this with the new Graffiti, we'll just give you a quick sneak peek of the new colors, and then we're gonna talk a few more details. So we've got, this is Eclipse, so a nice black and teal combo. If you're on Instagram, I'm sorry we can't share screens on here, or if we can, we don't know how. So if you want to jump on Facebook or on YouTube, you can actually see the bikes. We'll be sharing them on social in a moment. But we've got a really cool black and teal accents. So this is called Eclipse. We've got Sergeant here, which is like a really cool kind of army green gray. And then we've got Vintage Vanilla. So this is like a cream with, we've got the brown wall tires and kind of mustardy accents and the brown seat. And we are going to have these colors across both. So we're super excited about this. So why don't we talk about some of the features of the Graffiti? So being that, I guess, why did, we've already kind of explained why we split it. In creating the baseline model of the Graffiti, which is what you're seeing now, we were able to change some things up. So this is going to be the model for you if you are more looking for a traditional, I say traditional, it's still not traditional, but more of like the e-bike. In splitting the 2 models, this model, we're bringing down the speed and power slightly. You're still going to have more than enough power to, climb hills, but it will be a 1,000-watt motor instead, versus the 2,500 watt motor that we had on the original Graffiti. We are going to, the top speed as well is going to be 33 miles an hour. You're still going to have those 2 speed modes though. So it'll be more for that, recreational cruising, commuting in your local neighborhood, running errands in your neighborhood, really just enjoying more of, I would say casual e-bike riding. Then we'll talk more detailed features in a moment, but I want to give you guys a sneak peek of the Graffiti X as well. And Andrew, maybe if you can then just give a quick overview of the Graffiti X here.
Yeah, so we the Graffiti line is near and dear to our heart, and the bike that we brought out, the 2022 Graffiti, with all of the power that it has, we believe it was an exciting model, and a lot of the folks that bought it have echoed those concerns or those comments, and the only thing that we were getting on feedback on that is with all this power, like, we should be having some rear suspension. And so said, okay, yeah, we'll take that up into the Graffiti X. We'll add rear suspension on it. We're not going to talk too much about the power output of this bike, only to say that it is a 60 volt bike. So its top speed is going to be more than the current Graffiti model that's out now. So kind of 40 plus miles an hour on this one. it's got a dual rear suspension on it, so quite a springy back end. We did create one larger battery that sort of sits down lower in the frame and is removable. It really gets the weight sort of down lower for like really good handling on this, and so we're quite excited to bring this one out. It's still going to have a rack system on it, but like I said before, its carrying capacity on its rack will be smaller than what the Graffiti is. And so we think it's a nice split of the two models to be able to have this with its rear suspension and high power for all of the speed demons that are out there, the adrenaline junkies. We put all-terrain tires on this. It doesn't show well in this photo, but there will be all-terrain tires on this. Yeah, I'm not going to go too much into the specs on it, but yeah, higher mounted fenders, sort of in off-road capability. Yeah, this is an exciting bike, and we like the split, right? So we reduced the power down. We put a geared hub on the Graffiti. It's still a 1,000-watt geared hub. It's still got a 2,300-watt peak on it. So the Graffiti itself still has a lot of performance capabilities. It's got even more low-end punch now, but a lower top speed. But for a lot of folks, that we found that the top speed was not the one thing that they were looking for, and so we kind of built the Graffiti for those folks. And then for anyone that is looking for the speed, we put that into the Graffiti X.
Awesome. All right, so I'm juggling a few screens here. I'm going to remove that. Okay. So, all right, let's then talk details about the Graffiti. So we are still, the Graffiti X, as Andrew mentioned, is still, we're still working on that. We want to make sure we get it just right. And so it's going to be, we don't have firm timelines just yet, but we're looking at probably like fall for delivery. So we're going to keep you guys posted on that. At this time, we will be sending out an email with the product page links at the end of this. And so you can check that out. But the information that is on the page and that we're sharing today is all that we have for now with the Graffiti X. But we can talk more details about the Graffiti because that is officially for sale as of today. So detailed specs. Let's talk range first. So we've maintained the single and dual battery options. So depending on, what your needs are, with the dual battery, we're estimating about 35 to 40 miles per battery. So 70 to 80 miles with the dual battery. So you'll still get a lot of range out of that. And again, you can choose which price point makes more sense for you. We'll still be offering the 2 speed modes. So you have your legal e-bike speed mode, and then you'll have off-road mode where like we mentioned, you will have a max speed of 33 miles per hour. You guys loved the carbon belt drive, and so we definitely have kept that around. That keeps things nice and low maintenance. And that's really one of the biggest things like we wanted to hit on here with this new baseline model is a very convenient, low maintenance bike. But we've been able to maintain the badassery, if you will, if that's a word. And we're pretty stoked about these new colors. I've got a little question up here. Let us know what your favorite colors are. I can share them again so that you can answer this question.
Personally, my favorite is the vintage vanilla, the cream with the brown wall tires and the and the tan seat, like that just kind of does it for me. I really dig this one.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, and here's a funny little story. So in coming up with the colors this time around, I was like, Andrew, we need to get some more colors that, you know, are gonna bring the ladies to Lyric as well. We love our gentlemen, of course, and you guys are the core audience right now, but these bikes can definitely appeal to, you know, more females as well. And we wanna bring the gals over as well. And so in looking at this, I was like, maybe we need a rose gold bike. And I got kibosh pretty quick on that. But the vintage vanilla was the one that I was like, okay, I think cream and kind of like some vintage tan vibes. I think that one will go both ways. And I actually think we nailed it because I think all of the colors can go both ways. I think they will be attractive to all people.
Yeah,
which is awesome.
This
one's
one,
so cool too.
This one in real life, up close and in person, is just a beautiful color. It's sort of that lunar gray that you see showing up in a lot of cars. Oh man.
Thank you for the vote of confidence in rose gold. I haven't given up on it yet. Maybe in the future we'll see that.
There's going to be a point in the future where we'll do an Andy Caruso / Taylor Swift model, which will be the rose gold. Yeah.
Oh, I'd love that. We got a vote for black and teal. These colors are not going to be the same for the Voodoo. No. We got a vote for vintage vanilla. Cool. Yeah, and then just one more time. Here's the black and teal. Okay, yeah. Cool. Oh, I'm gonna take this off now.
So just to chat about just a couple of the other changes. So the batteries now, instead of them being 17.5 amp hour, they are 20 amp hour batteries each. They do use 21700 cells for any of the folks that are that are interested in that kind of detail, instead of 18650 cells. And they use a similar casing, but yeah, it does help to give it just a bit more range. So we increase the range on them because we're using a geared hub on the Graffiti now. We did have to delete the regenerative braking on this model, because geared, like most gear hubs, you can't run regen on them. And so this one's kind of been designed to the, just get on and ride and everything you need and nothing that you don't.
Right. And one of the other things we it's even lighter now, right? So 59 pounds, I believe.
Yeah. So it went on a diet and it lost. Well, it's just the difference between the 1,000 watt hub motor and the 2,500 watt direct drive motor.
Right.
It lost 5 pounds in the process when the batteries are off. Yeah.
Yeah. And so with that, again, it's like super great for condo living. You can fit this in an elevator, store it in bike storage. And it really is nice and light to be able to move it around. So, yeah. Okay. So a couple of the frequently asked questions that we're anticipating. We've talked about kind of the key differences. As far as like which Graffiti is going to be the one for you, I would say base that on, what's your use case. If you're more looking for the leisurely cruises and you don't really need the full suspension, you don't want to go 40 plus miles an hour, the regular Graffiti might be perfect for you. If you're an adrenaline junkie, then you're definitely going to want to go for the Graffiti X. And if you plan on doing, taking it outside of kind of like bike paths and regular roads, if you're going to be doing any sort of off-roading, you're going to want that rear suspension. When can you buy the bike? So you can start buying the Graffiti as of today. It is up on the website. Well, actually, that's not true. It's ready to be up on the website, and I need to push it live, which I will do the next time Andrew starts speaking. We are.
Do you want me to fill time? You want me to fill some time?
Okay, I have one more question I want to touch on right now, and then yes, as far as when you will get it. So we are targeting July to start shipping the Graffiti. Like I said already, the Graffiti X is not available to buy yet. We wanted to announce them both together so you guys knew kind of what was happening and why this new Graffiti model was different. But the Graffiti X is not available for sale. If you want to be the first to know, you're definitely going to want to get on our VIP list, which I can throw a link in the chat. So if you're not already on the email list, definitely do that, because that is where you're going to get the best deals and you're going to find out about everything first. Okay, Andrew, now you can talk about what you like while I throw this up on the website.
Do you still have me there? My computer seems to be acting up.
Yeah, we're still here.
Okay.
Oh, you are frozen though on the screen. Hang on one sec.
Yeah, I'm just trying to.
I think that I'll try removing you again.
I don't know what's happening here.
I don't know either. You're still on the live. You're still good on Instagram. Sorry. You're just frozen. I can still hear you though, which means people should still be able to hear you.
Okay.
Maybe if you want, just quickly refresh your within the StreamYard thing. That might help. You'll be
it's
offline.
Just that the computer is completely shut down.
Oh, your computer shut down.
Well, it's like running in the background, but it's locked itself out. It's like completely acting up.
Can you guys still hear Andrew? Because I can still hear him. If you're on Facebook or YouTube, can you still hear Andrew? Can you guys let me know in the comments? It wouldn't be alive if we didn't have some form of technical difficulties.
Has to go this way all the time, right?
Oh, they can still hear you. So you're just frozen. You're not frozen. And oh, there you are. Now you're back.
I've come back.
Perfect.
I've come back. I went through a portal and I'm back.
All
Sorry.
right.
What do you want me to just start going through some of the questions that's in here?
Yeah.
And,
yeah, that's perfect. And I'm gonna just get this pushed onto the site.
Yeah. So one of the questions Ryan Lauterbach had, so will it be possible to change some of the original Graffiti parts, such as the motor and batteries, to the new stuff? Not easily. The motor has a 5mm difference in how it hooks up at the back, so it would not be that easy to change the frame to put the motor on there. But if you've already got the original Graffiti motor, I wouldn't change that motor out for the new one. It just wouldn't be suggested. The controller and the motor that are on that original Graffiti are and it's a really powerful controller that we've got from Accelerated Systems on the 2022 Graffiti. It wouldn't be my choice to change it over. But happy to chat about that, Ryan. I like with any of these things, all of an electrical system, being the display, the wiring, the battery, the controller, and the motor, are all made and meant to be paired together. Usually when you change one thing out, you should be looking at changing all of those things out. Both models, will both models have pegs for passengers? Yes, both models are dual passenger. That's something that we always want to keep within the graffiti models is the ability to have pegs for passengers. And both of them still have that capability to do that. It's super important to us. IP resistant water rating, yeah, it's IP54. For the most part, the wiring is actually IP67. It's just the area where the controller sits in between the battery and the seat. For those of you that have a graffiti, that area just can't take high pressure water, but rain and pretty much like high pressure washing, almost even most of the bike is just fine. Question on UL certified. The bike is not UL tested. There is a new UL certification out there, 2849. We're still following the testing of the batteries, which is a UN 38.3 testing, but not the UL 2849. There's a question on the upgraded battery. This would be for the Graffiti X, I'm assuming. The upgraded battery in the 60 volt, all of the wiring again, like is sort of planned around the amount of current that would be going through that. And there is a question of what kind of power the Graffiti X will have. All I can say is that it will have more power than the current Graffiti or the 2022 Graffiti has. So it is more powerful and faster than the current Graffiti, and now actually a significant amount more than the 2023 Graffiti. And that's all we're going to say at this time on that one. Are the frames the same from the OG? Yeah, the Graffiti frame hasn't changed at all. So it's pretty much the exact same frame. So if you had racks or anything from the previous bike, yeah, those all work on the new 2023 Graffiti. It's all exactly the same as it was before. Yeah, I think we already addressed the colors of the Voodoo. So we had done the colors of the Voodoo previously. Those ones still stay the same. There are a lot of similarities in the decal designs and things now that you'll see between the Graffiti and the Voodoo. Brings it into sort of being a family model. But the colors aren't exactly matching. There's still sort of like the black and gold in the Voodoo and the silver and teal that we've got in that bike, and then the black and red that the Ghost always has been. Yeah.
And that's kind of one thing we want to
will be a direct drive still. That is we're testing a number of different motor choices for it, and so we're not going to give an answer on that one right now. Yeah. Question on where's the mud guards on the Graffiti X? They're high mounted, so they basically mount kind of like a dirt bike will. So they're basically mounted on the on the triple tree on the front. This is just an example of what they'll be. The actual is a little bit bigger than this, and even the tail one, there's one coming off the back tail. It's a little bit longer too. And I don't think if we can pull up the rear view one where you can kind of see it from the back.
Yeah.
You can't quite see it in this image, but all the way under, almost all the way to the battery is a solid piece of metal. So that goes down almost all the way down to the bottom is a solid piece of metal along there. And so there won't be any way for kind of mud and water to be able to come up into that space.
All right.
I think that's most of the questions in there.
Okay, cool. Well, I threw the link in there so you guys could go check it out. For the graffiti, we do have a full extensive list of FAQs up on the website as well.
Mm.
The Graffiti X is pretty much what we've shared today is what we can share. So, and yeah, what's on the website is kind of, again, what we can share at this point. But yeah, we are ready to roll with the regular graffiti. I feel like we have to keep saying regular or X now, but this one will be known as just the graffiti going forward. So
so there's a few other questions coming in. Will the Graffiti X have turn signals? Yes, it does come with, the Graffiti X will come with turn signals. There was one question about, it's a Voodoo question, but we can entertain it here. There's a question on whether or not the Voodoo is going to ride the same as a Sur-Ron. Because of the fact that it's a mid-drive motor, it has that same torquey feel as a Sur-Ron and the same sort of motor sound. But the Voodoo has 3 times more power than a stock Sur-Ron. So the Voodoo rides like a heavily modded Sur-Ron. Because the torque on the Voodoo now, it's kind of hard to get it past a quarter throttle without the front end wanting to come up. It's a very, very powerful bike.
You know, one of the most appealing things that we actually didn't even touch on about the graffiti, it now starts at $25.99 because of the changes we've made. We've been able to extend better prices to you guys, so that's a pretty big deal as well. So $25.99 for the single battery, $29.99 for the dual battery. So
there's one. Oh, sorry.
Awesome. Go ahead.
There's one comment on here about Magura or TRP brakes would be a nice touch. Both the Graffiti X and the Voodoo do use Magura brakes. So you're welcome.
All right. Okay, well, we are past time here, so I think we will probably wrap there unless there's any other burning questions. You can throw them in quick. But yeah, this is available now. We're available for questions. Like I said, we have tried to put as much info as we can on the website. We're available on online chat as well. So yeah, keep us posted and let us know what you guys think. We'll have some more information coming out. There should be an email hitting your inboxes at any moment now. We'll have another one coming out tomorrow with more details. Yeah, so we're super excited about this, and we hope you guys are too. But yeah, let us know what you think, and we are here to answer any questions if you do have them. Okay, well, I think we're good. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.